Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Chilltown Hoops. I'm your host, Jermaine. The youngsters call me OG. My friends call me J-Dub. Let's get to it. So I watched last night the semifinals between Australia and the U.S. And early, that game did not look good. I mean, that Australian basketball team is something to see. The way that basketball moves, the way those guys move, that is beautiful basketball. And it just did not look good early for the U.S. And then instinct kicked in to the point where, okay, we got to play. It can't just be the system that we're in. We have to play. I mean, the U.S. was down 15 early. And the reason they were down 15 early was because they just looked disjointed. You know, Dame Lillard, he looks like a fish out of water, to be quite honest with you. And I think a lot of that is largely because Dame is not a big-time guy. Even though he's a big-time talent, and I think he's one of the 10 best players in the NBA, he's not a rah-rah big-time guy. And being around Hollywood and big-time guys like that. I mean, I think Dame digs being in that fishbowl of a market. Now, is that something that's going to change in the future? Probably. Because at some point, I mean, we're going into year 10 with him, and at some point, an opportunity is going to come for him to win an NBA championship somewhere else. But as of right now, it just doesn't make sense to him to play somewhere else. And just watching him with this team, he very much looks like you take it. I don't want to outshine anybody. But eventually, there's going to come an opportunity where he's going to need to go. And he's going to go. This 2021 team, it reminds me very much of the 2008 team in the aspect of Kobe was the best player on that team in 2008. And it wasn't a question of who the best player was. Like we got a bunch of great players on this team. This guy's the best player though. And it's not a question. Well, it's the same idea with Kevin Durant. If we got a bunch of great players on this team with Bam, Damian Lillard, Jason Tatum, Book, Middleton, Drew Holiday. But it's not a question who the guy is on this team. That's this guy right here. And when we get ourselves in a pinch, or when we need to get going, this is the guy we're going to. And they did that last night when they found themselves minus 15 early. KD said, I'll get going. And then Book came right behind him. Tatum didn't have a great shooting night, but he was able to get himself involved in the game. I like what they're doing because I like how they're coming together. These guys are accepting their roles on the team. These guys are accepting the identity that they have on the team, which is why this thing is panning out the way it's panning out. And I look at a guy like Bam Adebayo who has accepted that I'm the dirty work guy on this team. Draymond has accepted I'm the dirty work guy on this team. Because I was very much, I had a lot of questions about that early. Like we got a bunch of guys in Tatum and Book, and Kevin Durant. You know, guys like that who can put the ball into Damian Lillard, who can put the ball in the basket. You know, who's rebounding the basketball? Who's doing the dirty work? Who's diving on the floor for loose balls? Because that's the Euro game. So these teams from other countries, Slovenia, France, Australia, China, you know, these guys, they're going to get after it. And they're going to get after you. So there's going to be times when you're going to have to stick your nose in there and get dirty. And who's going to do that? Bam has accepted that role. Draymond has accepted that role. Drew Holiday has accepted that role. And it looks like it's coming together. So I'm backing off of what I saw early. And I don't think that I was a prisoner of the moment more than I was concerned about how this team is put together. And what I'm not backing off of is I'm not backing off the idea that we still have to get a national team. And we have to have some continuity with this national team. The idea of throwing guys together, it works in certain instances, and they very well may win the gold medal. But with that being said, we have to get some continuity. And we have to get a national team. Because the Olympics are going to be, the World Championships are in another year or two. Then the Olympics are going to be in 3 years again. So we have to get a national team. And a group of guys that are committed to playing on the national team over the next 4 to 8 years. We have to get that. Otherwise, we're going to run into similar problems. Because these countries, Slovenia, Spain, France, Nigeria, Australia, they got really good basketball programs, and they're getting better. So I would like to see the U.S. get a national team and get some continuity with a national team. Have guys that I know that Bam Adebayo is going to be on the next Olympic team. I know that Damian Lillard is going to be on the next Olympic team. I know that Jason Tatum's going to play. I know that Donovan Mitchell is going to play. As opposed to having a ragtag team and trying to figure it out as we go. I mean, it's worked out up until this point, but you know, these countries are getting better. These countries are getting better, man. So the last time I talked to you guys, we were talking about free agency, and we were talking about what teams needed to do and holes that teams needed to plug. So I'm not sold on what the Chicago Bulls are doing, because I can appreciate DeRozan and I can appreciate Lonzo. DeRozan is 22 a game. Zach LaVine is 26 a game. So we already know we got buckets on the wings. That's not a question. Lonzo is gonna defend. That's my issue with the Chicago Bulls. Are they going to defend? Can they defend? Because Vucevic can rebound. I keep saying Vucevic. Vucevic can rebound. We know who he is down low. Kobe White, is he going to be able to materialize as the guy that they always thought he was with spending a lottery pick on him? You know, Laurie, Markin went the other way the last 2 years he's been with Donovan. He's gone the other way. He's not progressed. He's regressed. So before I jump, I can't jump out the window with this Bulls team just yet. I need to see how they defend. Because I know Lonzo's going to defend. And I know Lonzo's going to be the floor leader. And you got a distributor. So offense, I'm not concerned with that at all. I need to see how they're going to defend. I think the Knicks got a steal in Julius Randle for $117 million. So you got an all-star forward at a little under market value. The number that I had in my head was 135, and they came in at 117. I think they got a steal in Julius Randle. In my opinion, I absolutely think that they got a steal in him. No doubt about it. And then bringing Kemba Walker in. I don't think Kemba is washed, but I think he's going to help the Knicks. I do think that he's going to help the Knicks a lot in what they're doing in their backcourt. And he'll be a part of that rotation. He's going to have to defend playing for Tibbs, though. He's going to have to. And in order for him to get on the floor, 1, he's going to have to hold up. 2, he's going to have to defend. 3, he's going to have to hit open shots. He didn't do that very much in Boston. I think that Boston project was failed. I'm liking what they're doing with the Knicks. I think they got their franchise player. I do think that Randall is a B player who had an A year, but I think he'll come back better next season. I do think that. So I like what's going on in free agency right now. I do like what's going on in free agency, and we'll definitely talk about this some more, man. Definitely we'll talk about this some more in the future. I'll get back with you guys later. So remember, take it light, but take it.